So, I will see if this works. It might be absolutely awful, but we'll give it a go.
We'll find out.
So, I've got... you've got yours recording, I've got mine recording, cool. So, following our little videos that we made about Reading, we got some feedback that maybe there might be like some room to, I don't know, do something a bit more.
Yeah.
So I thought that this is something that you and I discussed. Those of you who have watched my YouTube channel before will know me as a person who knows everything there is to know about Reading, because I'm a complete geek. My name's Jack, and you're Will. Do you want to introduce yourself, Will?
Yeah, I'm Will, Jack's brother.
my partner in crime, brother, video game partner, best mate. We'll go with that.
If you say so.
We've been attending Reading for multiple years now, and when I started going, there was this amazing. When I first started going, there was this real community around who's going to be secret sets and some of like the secrets that go with that. Sorry, the cat needs to go out. So there was this amazing thing, and that kind of feels like it's dropped off a little bit. The Reading Festival subreddit is great, especially if you're looking to figure out how to smuggle drugs into the festival. So I think it's really cool if that we start something that's a little bit different. So I don't know if this is going to be weekly or bi-weekly or bi-monthly or whatever, but this is our first little test, 001 if you will, of the Jack and Will Reading podcast.
A better name to follow.
Yeah, code name to follow, of course. Today I think it's just a really good idea if we go over some of our highlights.
Yep.
I was going to say let's talk about future headliners, but maybe we should save that for the next one.
I think we should save that. I think this should be just a look back at this year's.
A highlight reel, if you will.
Highlight reel.
So what I've written down here is all the bands that we've seen across the weekend.
Nice. How many is there in total?
We would just kind of tell the story, but so we saw a total of 15 on the Friday, 14 on the Saturday, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on the Sunday, which is a record for me, and therefore must be a record for you.
What was it? 15?
38, I think.
38. Well,
37. 37.
37.
I think 30 was my max. That was before I went with you.
Yeah.
So we got our money's worth this year, which is something that only old people at Reading do, because young people don't ever go actually see any music.
Sit at the campsite and take Xanax.
Absolutely. Next year it'll be something completely different, I feel sure. So, Friday we started. I thought that we saw Swimmers first, but it wasn't until I re-looked at the headline that we looked at the lineup that we actually went and saw Touts.
Yes, we nearly missed them, yeah.
We nearly missed them.
But they were really good.
Very cool, really cool.
Yeah.
Irish band. Found out this week they are managed by Phil Taggart of Radio 1 fame.
Oh, really?
Apparently so. So Touts are a really cool... Well, they're kind of thrash punky, but then halfway through the set just decided to go into like traditional Irish folk.
Yeah.
Which was kind of nice, because by this point you and I had been Reading drinking for 2 days. Smokey was not feeling the freshest he's ever felt.
No.
But very cool. Highly recommend checking them out. They've got a really good song called Political People if there's something that you want to look into further. But then we went over to the Radio 1 stage for actually first highlight of the weekend for me, without a doubt, was Swimmers.
Yep. I thought it was a great way to kick it off.
Yeah. And I think both you and I had a conversation beforehand about the lineup being very hip hop heavy. I'm a big fan of hip hop, don't get me wrong. But this year definitely felt like there was a lot more of that. A whole nother video or podcast or whatever to come on that in the future. But so Swimmers great, and I think we had a conversation about it being really hip hop heavy, and to go and see this little punk band who Played the pit stage 2 years ago, and one album still managed to pull such a massive crowd.
It was huge.
Ready to party.
Yeah.
At 1 o'clock in the afternoon on a Friday.
I also remember having a conversation that we weren't going to do a mosh pit until maybe Saturday or a bit later in the weekend. But as soon as Miley came on,
that was it.
I went straight in, fell to the floor with a mouthful
They
of
did
dirt.
such a good job with that song, though.
They did, yeah.
That song is like a 2.5 minute song, and they made it at least 7 or 8 minutes long. So, really, really, really great energy. Love that new record. Have you heard the new record by them?
No, I haven't.
They played it there, actually, called Berkeley's on Fire.
Well, then I have.
It will be on this week's Music Club when I get around to editing it. Really, really cool record. So really hoping that we see some more of them, and so early on the NME stage was really good to see them get that response. So definitely a highlight for myself. I think you and Smokey enjoyed yourself too, right?
Yep. I thought they were great.
Yep. Then we come to the first secret set of the weekend.
Oh yeah.
So when we approach Reading, after you've been as many times as we have, there are certain spots that we call the sweet spot. And when it comes to the big stages, we have sweet spot 1 and sweet spot 2, front and back. So for this one, we were aware of who it was going to be, and not the biggest of fans, but thought it was worth checking out. So we went and got ourselves a beer from the tent and stood at sweet spot 2, which is at the back of the NME tent, or the Radio 1 stage for those that are confused, and watched Bring Me the Horizon play a phenomenal secret set, and it wasn't until the set finished that I kind of realised the gravitas of the situation, how big they are, and I was really impressed. I don't know if they were your cup of tea. Smokey enjoyed it.
I liked them. I've not really listened to any of their stuff before. If you asked me to name a Bring Me the Horizon song, I wouldn't be able to.
Yeah.
But I'd probably know one if I heard one. If that makes any sense.
They're very much one of those bands for me. I know Happy Song.
Yeah.
Because I don't know very many songs called Happy Song. But they were really good. We were kind of discussing kind of when they came about, and they're kind of inspired by Linkin Park. And
what was it? Wasn't there that group of protesters walking around that they were protesters with
they were the opening lyric of that new song of theirs says, "Do you want to start a cult with me?"
Yeah.
So they were the cult.
Yeah. Which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, it was a bit different. So I thoroughly enjoyed them, and they got a huge response. Huge. The whole tent was going for it. So always good to see a rock band be successful in 2018. So really, I thoroughly enjoyed them. If this podcast sounds boring because all we're talking about is all the good stuff we saw, it's because there wasn't a lot that was very bad. Yeah.
Well, even if no one listens to this, we can. If no one listens to it, we'll keep it, and when we're both in the old people's home with dementia, we can use it to remember one of the best years at Reading.
Wow, it genuinely was. Genuinely was. Following that, we caught a little bit of Fickle Friends on the NME tent before we headed over to the Festival Republic tent.
Yep, to
go check out Yonica, who, I don't know about you, man. For a band that don't even have an album out yet, they have a lot of energy, a lot going for them.
I really enjoyed them.
If they can maintain that level of energy and hype, then it'd be really good to see where they go. They played that. They had a really cool FWTB behind. F***ing with the best is a highlight of mine. Yeah. The whole audience went for it. It was really cool to see such a little band be so successful. Then we headed over to the main stage, to probably the busiest act on the main stage the whole weekend. Post Malone.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot we saw him. That was huge, wasn't it?
Couldn't move. It was so busy.
And you know what? It was actually really good.
He thoroughly enjoyed him.
Yeah,
thoroughly enjoyed him. I've said for years, I suppose since I turned kind of 2021, there are 2 festivals that happen at Reading every year. There is Reading for 17, 16, 17, 18-year-olds.
Yeah.
And then there's Reading for people that like new music and kind of not the standard chart stuff. And I think that's got more and more prevalent. Is that the right word? More and more obvious in the last few years. But, you know, to go see a band like Yonica in the Festival Republic stage, they're not being able to move on the main stage. I think Post Malone is one of those acts that fits into both festivals, because he's really making shapes in the music industry, and he's kind of a pop star, but he's also a respected one. Just enormous turnout and hundreds of kiddies. You know, I think when we were talking to the neighbours, we camped next to these 17-year-old kids, when we were chatting to them, they were all like, yeah, I'm seeing Travis Scott and Post Malone today, that's it. And I think a lot of people must have done that, because you couldn't move on the main stage. When we went back for the headliner later on, there was so much more room. So yeah, Post Malone was fun. And then I think we'll kind of rack through these a little bit now. So we went and saw a band called 10 Tons, who you thoroughly enjoyed. I don't know if you remember thoroughly enjoying. I don't remember.
There's part of the day...
You got very excited.
Yeah. Well, there's always a section of every day at Reading that there's like 2 or 3 hours, I don't remember it. Every single year, there's 2 hours of every day I just lose. I don't know where they are.
Was it you that was saying that you just don't remember Saturday ever?
Oh yeah, no, I could have had like the best Saturday ever, and I wouldn't be able to tell you. I remember this one a bit better, because I don't think I wasn't drinking as much as I had been before.
Yeah,
but because it hurt this year. But no, I don't remember my first year, 2013. I don't remember the Saturday. I think was it Eminem headlining that night? Might have been.
You must remember that. That was amazing.
I remember going to the toilet halfway through it.
Was that the year that I got Lauren up on my shoulders and she was on TV?
Yeah, for the White Lies.
I think that was the Saturday.
Was it? Actually, it might have been the first time I saw Frank Turner as well. That wasn't or was that on a Friday? I think that was on a Friday. Anyway, I digress.
We're digressing. 10 Tons, great. Singer-songwriter guy. Indie, fun. Really enjoy him. Then we went and caught a little bit of the Wombats.
Oh yeah,
it's very much your cup of tea. And so feel free to lead on this one. You
put me on your shoulders for that, and I still feel bad about it. I'm sure you feel even worse.
My legs still hurt.
No, Wombats were great. They were there. They were at Reading 2014. Was the last time they were there, and they were playing on the Festival Republic stage. I think so.
Yeah, they headlined that year.
They not main stage. They headlined. I think,
no, they headlined the Festival Republic stage.
Yeah. And I remember being really excited to go and see them, and we couldn't get in. We could barely see them and barely hear them.
Oh yeah.
So it was really nice.
We were like on the little ramp down into the Festival Republic, weren't we?
Yeah. So it was really nice to a for the place to be big enough for us to see them, and if you remember, we actually also saw them earlier in the day, because they were a secret set on the introducing stage, weren't they?
Oh yeah, well yeah, but you couldn't hear them.
Yeah. So that's
saw them.
Only 1 out of 3 times I've seen the Wombats and actually heard them.
But that's good. No, they were fun. They were good. I think the Wombats are really good. I really enjoyed that.
Did you
Turn record?
Was Turn on Music Club?
Yeah, I think it was.
I think I fucking love that song. It's great.
I think it's a really strong record for a band that are probably on album number 4 or 5, 6, 7, 8, something like
3,
that.
I think.
No, it can't be.
I'm pretty sure there is.
Fact check. Early Years, The Guide, Love, Loss and Desperation.
Yeah.
Then you have the Wombats EP. Then you've got the Modern Glitch. Then you've got Glitter Bug. And then Beautiful People Will Ruin Your Life. 2017 to present.
2 of those are singles though. Glitter Bug's a track off the new album.
Oh. No, Glitter Bug is the album that came out in December 2014.
Is it? Oh. Well, let's cut out this whole bit of me being wrong.
Okay. Well, I'll leave you the bit in with me being right there, yeah.
I'll pick it up as like, oh, okay, that's okay, good, cool.
Nice.
Yeah, I thought there was 5 albums, yeah.
And then we went and had a little break, a little bit of a disco nap. Came back to watch the Kooks, which, for me, one of the letdowns of the weekend, if not the biggest, maybe the second biggest letdown of the weekend.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Just a bit boring. And the thing is, I don't know if this is something that I need to work on every year, but it's something like getting excited about the music. I think I give myself like a week to listen through the lineup and look at the bands I want to see, and then get excited to be there. And I love the Kooks. Don't get me wrong. Like 2 of their albums. How many albums they on there? 2 or 3.
I'm not going to guess because I'll be wrong.
Their first album and the last album were really enjoyable. And Lauren loves the current one. So, Kooks, kind of boring. I didn't enjoy it that much.
Yeah, I agree.
And you can't remember it, so clearly it can't have been that
good.
I
remember rolling a cigarette. I think you were at the bar, and me and Smokey were watching them. Yeah, but they were all right. I mean, I remember seeing the Kooks a couple of years ago on NME Tent.
Oh, yeah, you did.
And it's never won me
really... I remember thinking... They're all right.
Yeah, well, I say my point is that there's never really been one. They're never one that I'm like hyped up to go see the Kooks. Like, because if you remember that time, we just sat outside and watched them on the big screen. We didn't go in.
Yeah, we did.
So as much as I love that album with Seaside on it and Naive and
what is that one called?
Is that the first?
Their first album.
Yeah. Like I say, it's an act I'm happy to stand at the back and watch.
Perhaps we can fix that by putting more effort in before we go. Who knows?
We could. And plus, we were f***ing drunk.
This is day 3 for us by this point.
Yeah.
This isn't day 1. We're not fresh-faced. We've had 2 days of sleeping out in the cold.
Yep.
And it was cold.
It was damn cold.
So then we climaxed our excitement, for want of a better word, when it got ourselves a beer. It started raining, and so we ran into the pit to go watch The Used.
Oh, yeah.
Now, The Used for me this year, going in, was going to be a band I was definitely going to go see because I loved them when I was like 15, but also it was kind of a little bit of a joke. Like it's, The Used, ended up being another one of my highlights of the weekend. So much fun. Energy was great.
Yeah. Well, we were in the pit for the whole time, weren't we?
We're literally in the pit for the whole time. That's why we hurt so bad, because we just got beaten the up for an hour.
Yeah. We deserved it. They were bad people.
Oh, yeah. And ended on Box Full of Sharp Objects, which was so good. I really, really enjoyed it. I didn't think I was going to enjoy it that much.
And they played Taste of Ink, which was great.
Yeah, a great record. Absolutely. By which point, Smokey is struggling, so we're kind of forcing him through the rest of the evening.
Maybe that's another podcast. We can do theories on how to, get Smokey through a whole day.
Longevity.
Yeah.
We can ask the audience.
Yeah.
When we have 100,000 people, we can be like,
do a Twitch
stream
to
get Smokey to
But you know what they'll say? They'll say cocaine. Xannies. Lucozade.
So then we nipped over from the Festival Republic stage to from the pit to the Festival Republic to go see my friend's band, Bad Sounds, who were really cool.
They were really good.
Really, really enjoyable. I think they're going to be huge as soon as they're... In fact, is their album out now? Or is it out next week? It's out. It's this month, I believe. I think they'll be a big band next year. I think they'll probably be an enemy-sized band next year. We'll see. But they're really good. And then Smokey decided that was it. He called it a night.
Yeah.
Boys are going to bed.
Well, we went to get food, didn't we? And then there was the whole salmon story.
Yeah, that's the salmon story. So then got some food, got a beer. Smokey's like, right, done. Now, for those who are trying to picture Smokey, think of like the hardest looking biker that you can, covered in tattoos and a leather. He's a brumoy, looks hard as nails and a massive beard. And it gets to 10 o'clock and he goes, boys need to go to bed.
But it's more like, right, that's it, fellas.
Yeah. I go to bed. I see you back at the campsite for a fire. You get back there and he's KO snoring. Yeah.
What was it the Bristol boys said about him one year? Is that my favourite way that anyone's ever described Smokey is when he had his glitter beard and his sparkly leggings, and they said, "Oh, you like Elton John, Sons of Anarchy."
Very good.
Yeah.
So we hung around and watched Death from Above 1979, who really cool,
Great.
Really cool. I mean, I'm still amazed. And we only saw 3 songs, nothing much.
Well, we were sort of we were late there, and then did we leave to go see? Because we did a bit of everything that night, didn't we?
We did. We were also trying not to give in to the tiredness because we were about to go to bed, and then I remembered the little voice from us not going to sing Haim last year and going home early kicked in, and I was like, no, can't give up. So we've got to go and do it. So watch a bit nice. Dead from Above, who are great. I'm still amazed that they can produce all that sound from two people.
Yeah.
They're so loud.
But I didn't know it was only two people till I saw them. So.
And the drummer sings.
Yeah.
Bit like Sprinking.
Big respect for that.
So yeah, a bit of them. I think we then went and saw 4 songs from Fall Out Boy. We stayed for longer than I thought we would.
From who? Oh yeah, Fall Out
Fall
Boy.
Out Boy.
Yeah. Yes, we did. I remember there being fireworks.
Who were the headliners of the main stage that night?
But it wasn't one that we. Well, it's not even. I'm looking at our list for what we wanted to see. What we wrote before the festival. They're not even on it.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen them before.
See, I don't remember seeing them before.
They sub-headlined for Biffy.
Oh yeah, they did, didn't they?
Yeah, it was on a Sunday.
Yeah. Well, they co-headlined actually.
Well, they co-headlined, okay. But what we saw, I enjoyed, and I think we saw enough.
I think you've absolutely hit the nail on the head there. Yeah. You're right. It was the right amount.
And plus,
I think we saw
in the world where Wolf Alice is on at the same time. Then, yeah, we did. Yeah. And those fireworks.
Oh yeah, we did see fireworks.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. I remember.
Yeah.
Then kind of decided that actually that headline that we wanted to see was Wolf Alice, and if we saw 3 songs or 4 or 5 songs, then that was enough because we were fucking so tired. Yeah. So we went and saw en route. We went and saw Annie Mac.
Yes.
Which was probably one of your first proper housey DJ experiences.
Yeah.
You know, you're not particularly a raver by any sense of the word.
No, my for those of you at home who don't know me, I prefer a beer in the garden with some rock and roll to standing in a club and listening
give
to
me a cigar and some Thin Lizzy
music and try. But
so
actually, it was Sorry, go on.
It was good though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
She was so good. I remember coming away from it thinking she played a very minimal set and it was a little boring.
Yeah.
But we were that level of pissed that we were kind of vibing on the same level as those that were fucked on MDMA. So
yeah.
I think that we I could have stayed there all night actually.
I was having a good time.
Yeah,
I remember you saying,
away, eyes closed, not realising anything else is there. But it just got a little. I wanted a bit more disco and a bit more electro, but it just seemed to be a little bit more too minimal housey for my liking.
And I'm glad we did it because, I've always heard this hype about Annie Mac that I've never really got because she's a DJ. I've never really got that. That's a world that I'm not really into.
Familiar with.
Yeah, because I remember she did the Freshers Festival here last year, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, I'm going to go see Annie Mac," and I was like, "Why? It's 60 quid for a ticket." Just go out.
That is a lot though. That's like a day. That's like a Reading day ticket.
I think it was 60 quid. I'm not sure. It was a
still
a sum
so
of
money.
But I get it now. And she's one of those big names, isn't she? That it's good. It's cool to say that you've seen her.
Definitely, it's my second time seeing her.
A very good DJ.
Very good. Very good. And you know what? She is the leader of new music on Radio 1.
Yeah.
So
she knows her shit.
She follows on from Zane Lowe, who follows on from John Peel. So, you credit where credit's due, and really cool to see her. So I thoroughly enjoyed that, and it was good to get a little bit of. I think her set just made me very excited to see Pendulum.
Yes.
On the Saturday. Not that she played any drum and bass or dubstep or anything like that, but it was just like, I forget actually I really like dance music. So that was really good. Which, talking about the Radio 1 stage, leads us on to the headliner of the Friday night that we always intended to see rather than going and seeing 4 of them.
Yep.
Which was Wolf Alice, who I have flashes of seeing. I remember them playing Bros. Beautifully unconventional.
It's probably not a good idea that I'm part of a Reading podcast because every time you talk about this, I can't remember all.
Can you just can you remember being in there at all?
Yeah, I wouldn't forget.
I remember being seeing flashes of being in there and it being dark outside, and I remember them playing Beautifully Unconventional. I think we might have only stayed for 4 songs.
I think we did because it was last thing in the day, and plus. Yeah,
it was. By this point, it was 11:15.
Yeah,
we maybe missed the last 10 minutes.
And plus, we're going to go back to the tent before the crowds.
Well, absolutely. I think we did then actually carry on and have a couple of beers when we got back.
We did. Yeah.
Which, do you know what? That's the record day for me. I've never seen that many bands in one day.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 bands in one day. That's my weekend's worth of ticket money justified.
And did we go to town that morning as well? Was that Thursday? Because that's a long-ass day. I don't think we did on Friday.
I've just completely gone syntax error. I can't remember. We did go into town, didn't we?
I think we went on Thursday.
I think we did too.
Because I remember Friday morning, we were sort of like, well, if we go into town this morning, then we're just going to be...
Because on Friday morning, you and Smokey get up and go get some stuff from
no, that
co-op.
was Saturday morning.
That co-op this year saved my life.
Co-op was great. Shout out to Co-op.
Mate, shout out to Co-op. If they want to endorse this podcast by any sense of the word, then I'm happy to take some revenue.
And it was like... It was quite surreal walking into a Co-op in a campsite, but it fucking worked.
Just great being able to go buy a bag of ice. For those of us that had planned well.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
And then going and getting a chicken and bacon sandwich when you're hanging and you don't feel like eating a proper meal.
Just so good.
It's great.
Or cold gin and tonics.
Yeah.
Boom.
We never drank those ice lollies, did we?
No. So that was our Friday, part one. I think we might be able to squeeze Saturday and Sunday into one because the Sunday is not a lot to talk about, really.
No, there's not. It was just
but
a lot of...
we got some other. We saw some good bands on that Saturday.
Yes, we did.
And we did see some good bands on that Sunday as well. It's just that there was weather permitting for the people that are wondering why. But no, that was our Reading Festival Friday. I think we're going to do carry on with some more highlights in the next one. We want to talk about some 2019 predictions. There's a plethora of things. I think it'd be really cool to talk through stuff as things get announced.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good idea.
We have collated all the data from the last 5 years worth of festivals, so we can actually answer some of those questions about it being a rock festival anymore. But
I'll definitely spend a day on that, I think. Not a day, sorry, an episode. I've got other shit to do.
Yeah, cool. So let's carry on with that in future, and yeah, that was a good Friday. It was a good Friday.
Friday. One of my favourites. In fact, this year, one of my favourite years.
Yeah,
which is funny because we said it wasn't going to be. Because usually when it's just the three of us, we struggle a bit, don't we?
And that's what I said. We need to go in with an expectation that it's not going to be great.
Yep. Plan to not have a plan.
Plan to fail. Right, I think that's a good time to end it.
Yeah, man. We're not to sign off or anything.